Can you believe it? A 100-year-old Harvard doctor says he feels like he's 40 just by avoiding 4 common foods. Sounds hard to believe, right? But it's absolutely true. I'm Dr. William Hart. For over 35 years, I've been helping older adults live healthier, happier lives. I've worked with more than 40,000 seniors in the U.S. and around the world, and I've seen firsthand what truly works when it comes to aging well. Now, this Harvard doctor didn't rely on fancy supplements or extreme diets. What he did was surprisingly simple. He cut out 4 everyday foods most of us eat without even thinking. And the result? More energy, better focus, and a body that feels decades younger. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through each of those 4 foods and show you what to eat instead. These small changes can make a big difference in how you feel every single day. So if you're serious about your health and want to feel younger and stronger as you age, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss a thing. 1. Red meat and processed meats. Let's start with the one food that surprises most people: red meat, especially the processed kind, like bacon, hot dogs, sausage, or deli meats. Now, I'm not saying you have to give it up forever. I know how comforting a good burger or a hearty steak can be, especially when it's tied to memories, backyard barbecues, family cookouts, Sunday dinners. But as we age, our bodies change. What we could once digest and bounce back from in our 30s or 40s, well, it's a different story after 60. The truth is, red and processed meats are high in saturated fats and compounds that can trigger inflammation in the body. Over time, that inflammation builds up. It puts extra pressure on your heart, raises your blood pressure, and makes your arteries stiffer. That's why so many studies link high red meat consumption with heart disease, especially in older adults. Let me tell you about Mary. She's 68 and lives just outside of Phoenix. She used to have bacon and eggs for breakfast almost every morning. Lunch was often a ham sandwich, and dinner? Usually something like meatloaf or steak. It was the way she'd always eaten, simple, satisfying, and familiar. But over the years, she started noticing changes. Her blood pressure kept creeping up. She felt more tired in the afternoons, and her sleep was broken. Her doctor kept adjusting her medications, but nothing really seemed to help. One day, after watching a talk about inflammation and aging, Mary decided to try something new. She didn't do anything drastic, she just started cutting back on red meat a few days a week. Instead, she added in more fish, especially salmon and trout. Sometimes she'd have tofu stir-fry or lentil soup instead of a meat-heavy dinner. And something unexpected happened. Within just a few weeks, Mary noticed her blood pressure began to even out. She wasn't as bloated after meals. She said, "I sleep like I did 20 years ago." Her energy returned, and she even started walking in the mornings again, something she hadn't felt up for in a long time. Now, I'm not saying fish or beans are magic. But giving your heart a little less work to do? That can be life-changing. Especially when it's something as simple as swapping a few meals each week. And it's not just Mary. I've seen this story play out again and again with my patients. Less red meat, more heart-healthy choices, and their bodies thank them. So here's my gentle invitation to you: look at your plate. Could 1 or 2 meals this week be made without red meat? Could you try grilled salmon instead of steak? Or a warm chickpea stew instead of pork chops? You might be surprised by how good you feel and how quickly your body responds. If you've ever tried cutting back on red meat, even just a little, I'd love to hear how it went. What changed? What did you notice? Let's share and support each other. Leave a comment below and let's learn from one another. Because aging well isn't about giving things up, it's about choosing what helps us feel alive every single day. Now, ready for food number 2? This next one might be sitting in your kitchen right now. 2. Sugary drinks. Now let's talk about something many people don't think twice about: the drinks we reach for every day. I'm talking about sodas, sweet teas, flavored coffees, and even those healthy-looking juices that sneak in a surprising amount of sugar. Here's the thing: These drinks may taste light and refreshing, but they're often loaded with more sugar than we realize. 1 can of soda? That can have up to 10 teaspoons of sugar. And when we drink it, the sugar hits our bloodstream fast, spiking our blood sugar, stressing our pancreas, and over time, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and even heart disease. And I know, giving up soda can feel like a big ask. It's part of our routines, that morning pick-me-up or the afternoon treat. But sometimes, small changes lead to big rewards. Let me tell you about John. He's 72, retired, and used to enjoy 2 or 3 sodas a day. It started back when he was working in construction. Soda kept him going during long, hot days. But even after retiring, the habit stuck. He never really thought much about it, until his doctor mentioned his rising blood sugar and creeping weight. At first, John was skeptical. "I don't eat that much sugar," he said. But when he looked closer, the drinks were adding up, hundreds of empty calories every day. So, he decided to try an experiment. For 1 month, he cut out all sugary drinks. No soda, no sweetened iced tea. Instead, he switched to plain water, herbal teas, and occasionally, a splash of lemon in sparkling water. And the results? Remarkable. Within 4 weeks, John dropped nearly 11 pounds, about 5 kilograms, without changing anything else in his diet. His energy came back. His afternoon crashes disappeared. And the best part? His doctor was impressed with how his blood sugar levels had improved. "I didn't realize how much those drinks were holding me back," he told me. "Now I actually crave water, never thought I'd say that." And research backs this up. According to Harvard Health, cutting out sugary drinks is one of the easiest ways to lower your risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. The New York Post recently shared a story about older adults who simply replaced soda with water and saw lasting weight loss and improved energy. Now, I'm not saying you can't enjoy something sweet once in a while. But making healthier drink choices, even a few times a week, can make a real difference. Try unsweetened iced tea with mint, warm chamomile before bed, or simply filtered water with cucumber or berries. You might be surprised by how good they taste. So here's my question for you. Have you ever tried replacing soda or sugary drinks with something healthier? What worked for you? Did you notice any changes in your body or mood? Share your story in the comments. You never know who might be inspired by your experience. Sometimes one small change, like switching what you drink, can set off a whole chain of positive habits. Remember, your health is worth more than a moment of sweetness. And your future self will thank you for the choices you make today. Ready to move on? The next food on our list might be hiding in your morning toast. 3. Processed foods. Let's talk about something that sneaks into our kitchen more often than we realize: processed foods. You know, the quick microwavable dinners, canned soups, frozen pizzas, instant noodles, and even those colorful snack cakes that seem harmless at first glance. They're easy, fast, and convenient. But over time, they can quietly take a toll on our health. Most processed foods are packed with preservatives, unhealthy fats, and especially sodium. Too much sodium makes our hearts work harder. It can raise blood pressure, strain the kidneys, and increase the risk of stroke or heart disease, something HarvardPilgrim.org has warned us about for years. I get it, it's tough. Life gets busy, and popping something into the microwave feels easier than chopping vegetables. But here's the truth: even small changes in our food habits can make a world of difference. Let me share a story. Linda is 65, a retired teacher from Ohio. She used to rely heavily on frozen meals and boxed snacks, especially after her husband passed away. Cooking for one just felt like too much effort. Over time, she noticed her energy was low, her blood pressure climbed, and she didn't feel like herself anymore. During a checkup, her doctor gently asked, "Linda, what are you eating these days?" That one question made her stop and think. She decided to try something new. Instead of heating up a frozen dinner, she started cooking simple meals, nothing fancy, just fresh vegetables, grilled chicken, a bowl of brown rice. She even went to the farmer's market on weekends and began experimenting with seasonal ingredients. At first, it felt awkward. But slowly, cooking became part of her routine and part of her healing. The change was amazing. Within a couple of months, Linda said she felt lighter, not just in her body, but in her spirit. Her blood pressure improved, her sleep was deeper, and most of all, she felt proud of what she was putting into her body. It's not just food anymore, she told me. It's care. It's love. And the science agrees. Cooking at home puts you in control of what goes into your meals. Less salt, fewer additives, and more whole, real ingredients. It doesn't have to be complicated either. A bowl of oatmeal with fruit, a veggie stir-fry with garlic and olive oil, a baked sweet potato, these are simple, comforting, and nourishing. So here's my gentle challenge to you. Next time you reach for something processed, pause and ask, could I make something fresh instead? Even one homemade meal a day can set a powerful foundation for better health. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a favorite home-cooked meal that brings back memories or makes you feel good inside? Maybe it's grandma's soup or a casserole you've perfected over the years. Share it in the comments. Your recipe could inspire someone else to get back in the kitchen and take that first step toward healthier living. Food is more than fuel. It's a connection to our bodies, to our loved ones, and to our own sense of well-being. Let's keep learning and supporting each other. Because the healthiest meals don't always come in a box, they come from the heart. 4. Salty foods. Let's have a little heart-to-heart about salt. Just a pinch here, a sprinkle there, it seems harmless, right? But over time, that extra salt can quietly raise your blood pressure and put real strain on your heart. In fact, high sodium is one of the leading causes behind strokes and heart disease, especially as we get older. The tricky part is that salt hides everywhere. It's not just in the salt shaker on your table. It's in canned soups, deli meats, sauces, cheeses, frozen meals, and even bread. You might not even taste it, but your body feels it. That's exactly what happened to Robert, a 70-year-old retired bus driver from Florida. He told me, I didn't think I was eating a lot of salt. I hardly ever salted my food. But his blood pressure kept creeping up. His doctor gently explained that it wasn't the salt he added, it was the salt already hiding in the foods he was eating. Robert made one small change. He started reading labels. At first, it felt overwhelming. But over time, he learned what to look for and how to pick lower sodium options. He also began cooking more meals at home, using herbs and spices like garlic, lemon, pepper, and rosemary instead of reaching for the salt. The result? Within 3 months, his blood pressure leveled out. He said he felt more energetic, less bloated, and even slept better at night. It's like I got my old self back, he smiled. And the food still tastes great. That's the lesson here. Reducing salt doesn't mean giving up flavor. In fact, when you cut back on salt, your taste buds adjust, and suddenly you start noticing the real taste of food again. Tomatoes become sweeter. Roasted veggies pop with flavor. Even a simple soup made from scratch can feel like a treat. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Here are a few easy ways to get started. Swap store-bought broth for low-sodium or homemade versions. Use lemon juice or vinegar to brighten dishes instead of salt. Add fresh herbs like basil, thyme, or cilantro for natural flavor. Avoid processed foods when possible, they're often packed with hidden salt. Remember, your heart works hard for you every single day. One of the best gifts you can give it is a little less salt. So, I want to ask you, do you have a favorite way to cut back on salt without losing flavor? Maybe it's a homemade spice mix you use, or a clever trick in the kitchen you've picked up over the years. Whatever it is, share it in the comments. Your tip could help someone else on their journey to better heart health. Sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference. And when it comes to salt, less really can mean more energy, more peace of mind, and more years to enjoy the things and people you love. Take care of your heart. It's been taking care of you for a long time. We've just explored 4 foods that a 100-year-old Harvard doctor avoids to feel like he's 40. It's amazing how something as simple as changing what we eat can have such a powerful effect on our energy, heart health, and overall well-being. These aren't huge, impossible changes. They're small shifts we can all make to feel younger, stronger, and more in control of our health. Remember, age is just a number. What really matters is how we take care of ourselves each day. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, it's never too late to make better choices. And you're not alone. We're all learning together, one meal, one walk, one step at a time. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends and family. Let's create a ripple effect of healthier, happier lives in our community. Just a reminder, the information in this video is based on research and recommendations from Harvard and top nutrition experts. Always check with your doctor before making major changes to your diet. Here's to living better, feeling younger, and enjoying life every single day.